Your thoughts are more than just fleeting mental images or words that pass through your mind. They are the building blocks of your reality. Everything you experience, your circumstances, your relationships, your health, and even your emotions, begins with the way you think. The mind is not merely a passive observer of the world around you. It actively shapes and creates the world you live in. From the moment you wake up to the moment you fall asleep, your thoughts have the potential to dictate the course of your life. Whether consciously or unconsciously, your thoughts are continuously influencing what you attract, how you respond to challenges, and how you see yourself. This concept might seem abstract at first, but it's important to realize that every thought you have carries energy. It may seem subtle, almost invisible, but the energy of your thoughts is incredibly powerful. Neuroscience has shown that our brains are wired to respond to our internal dialogue. When you think positively, your brain releases certain chemicals that can promote feelings of well-being and even boost your immune system. On the other hand, negative thinking can trigger stress responses, weaken your body's defenses, and create a cycle of anxiety, fear, and self-doubt. You literally feel the physical effects of your thoughts in your body. But beyond the immediate impact on your emotions and physical state, the true power of your thoughts lies in their ability to create your external reality. Think about it. Every significant achievement in human history, from technological innovations to movements for social change, began with someone's idea, a thought. And on a smaller scale, everything you do in your life, every choice you make, is the result of your thoughts. Your thoughts about your career influence how hard you work or how you show up at your job. Your thoughts about relationships shape the way you communicate with others. Your thoughts about money and abundance determine your financial mindset and how you handle opportunities that come your way. For instance, if you consistently tell yourself that you are capable of success, that belief will translate into the actions you take, the risks you're willing to embrace, and the mindset you cultivate when faced with challenges. Conversely, if you constantly think that you are unworthy or incapable, your actions will align with those thoughts. You may avoid opportunities, procrastinate, or self-sabotage because deep down, your thinking tells you that success is not meant for you. In both scenarios, your thoughts create the outcome, whether it's a self-fulfilling prophecy of success or failure. The mind also has an incredible ability to filter information. This means that you tend to see what you expect to see based on your thoughts. When your mind is focused on scarcity or fear, you're likely to notice problems, obstacles, and threats in your environment. Your mind seeks to reinforce what it believes is true. On the flip side, if you focus on abundance and opportunity, your mind starts to filter for possibilities. You'll start to notice solutions, open doors, and new avenues you didn't see before. Your mind isn't just passively observing, it's actively shaping what you see and experience in the world. This is why mindfulness and intentional thinking are so powerful. When you consciously choose the thoughts you engage with, you shift your perception of reality. Positive, empowering thoughts help you to see potential where others might see failure. For example, consider someone who is pursuing a new venture or project. If they focus on the possibility of success, the excitement of learning new things, and the growth that comes with challenges, they approach every obstacle with resilience. Even failures become learning opportunities that fuel further growth. But if they focus on the fear of failure, the difficulties, and the potential for rejection, they may avoid taking action altogether, or they might give up at the first sign of resistance. Your thoughts don't just shape how you react to external events, they also play a role in attracting experiences and people into your life. This is known as the law of attraction, a concept that has gained significant attention in recent years. Essentially, the law of attraction posits that the energy of your thoughts magnetizes certain situations, people, and experiences towards you. When you think about what you want with passion and clarity, you begin to vibrate at a frequency that matches the energy of your desires. This doesn't mean you simply sit back and wait for things to happen. It means that when you focus on what you want, whether it's success, love, or health, you start to take actions that align with those desires, and you become more attuned to opportunities that were previously invisible to you. However, this concept is not limited to positive thoughts alone. If your mind is fixated on negativity, lack, or fear, you inadvertently attract more of those experiences into your life. The mind works as a mirror, reflecting back whatever you focus on, whether it's positive or negative. It doesn't differentiate between what you want and what you don't want. It simply responds to the energy of your focus. That's why it's so important to be intentional about what you allow to dominate your thoughts. When you shift your focus away from problems and instead concentrate on solutions, opportunities, and growth, you change the entire trajectory of your life. The power of thoughts also extends into the realm of personal growth. If you're looking to change something about yourself, whether it's your habits, mindset, or even your emotional responses, start by changing the way you think about it. Our identities are often built upon the thoughts we repeatedly have about who we are. If you think of yourself as someone who is always stressed, always anxious, or always unhappy, those thoughts will reinforce the feeling that those states are permanent aspects of your character. But when you shift your thoughts, when you begin to see yourself as calm, capable, or happy, your behavior and emotional responses will begin to change too. It's a process of self-transformation, and it starts with altering your inner dialogue. In the end, the true power of your thoughts lies in their ability to create lasting change. The mind is not just a passive participant in your life, it is the architect of your experiences. What you think, you become. What you believe, you manifest. The key is to cultivate a mindset that is positive, focused, and aligned with the life you want to create. By doing so, you will begin to unlock the incredible potential that lies within your mind. Our beliefs shape not only our reality, but also the very way we perceive the world and interact with it. These deep-seated convictions, formed over years of experience and conditioning, are the lens through which we interpret every situation, relationship, and opportunity. They are the invisible forces that dictate what we think is possible and what we think is impossible. In a sense, beliefs act as the filters for how we process and react to everything in our lives. They influence our behavior, our decisions, and our level of success. If you believe something is true, it will become your reality, whether or not it actually is. This is the power of belief. Beliefs are often formed in early childhood, shaped by our parents, teachers, peers, and the society around us. As we grow older, we continue to gather experiences that reinforce or challenge these beliefs. Some beliefs come from direct experiences. Perhaps you tried something and failed, so you now believe that you are not good at it. Other beliefs are formed indirectly through observation or repeated messages we receive from others. A child who grows up in a family that speaks negatively about money may adopt the belief that money is scarce or difficult to obtain. Someone raised in an environment where love and support were inconsistent may develop a belief that they are unworthy of deep, lasting relationships. But regardless of where your beliefs come from, one thing is clear: they have the power to shape your life. The beliefs you hold about yourself, your abilities, and the world around you determine your experiences. If you believe that you are capable of achieving great things, you are more likely to take risks, pursue your passions, and work towards your goals. On the other hand, if you believe you are not capable or deserving of success, you may hold yourself back, avoid challenges, or even sabotage your own efforts. In essence, our beliefs guide the trajectory of our lives. One of the most significant aspects of belief is that it is often unconscious. Many of the beliefs we hold were ingrained in us at a time when we were too young or inexperienced to question their validity. Over time, these beliefs become so automatic that we don't even realize they are driving our decisions. You may believe that you are destined for failure in certain areas, but you might never actively question where that belief came from or whether it is even true. This is why personal growth often involves not just learning new things, but unlearning old beliefs that no longer serve you. Take, for example, the belief about money. If you were raised to believe that money is hard to come by, that it requires constant struggle, or that there is never enough, you may carry these beliefs into adulthood. As a result, you might find yourself avoiding financial opportunities or feeling guilty when you do make money. You may subconsciously push away wealth because deep down you believe you don't deserve it, or that having money would somehow be wrong. Alternatively, if you believe that wealth is abundant and achievable, you might take proactive steps to grow your finances, such as starting a business, investing, or seeking out opportunities for financial education. The beliefs we hold about ourselves can be just as limiting. Many people struggle with the belief that they are not enough, that they aren't smart enough, talented enough, or worthy enough to succeed. This belief can take many forms. It might show up as imposter syndrome, where you feel like a fraud despite evidence of your success, or as a constant fear of failure that keeps you stuck in place. In these cases, beliefs are not based on reality, but on a distorted view of who we think we are. We may project our insecurities onto the world, creating a self-fulfilling prophecy in which our belief in our inadequacy causes us to act in ways that reinforce that belief. One of the most fascinating aspects of belief is its ability to create reality. Our beliefs don't just shape how we see the world, they literally create the experiences we have. When you hold a belief, it influences how you interact with the world. This is often referred to as the belief-action loop. For example, someone who believes they are a great communicator will naturally engage in more conversations, feel more confident during discussions, and actively seek opportunities to speak in public. Over time, these actions build their skill and confidence, reinforcing their original belief. On the other hand, someone who believes they are not good with people may shy away from social interactions, avoid networking, or become anxious in conversations. As a result, they rarely get the opportunity to improve their communication skills, which then reinforces their belief that they are not good with people. The role of belief extends beyond the mental and emotional realms. It also influences your physical well-being. There is an entire field of study known as psychoneuroimmunology, which explores the connection between the mind and the body. Research in this area has shown that our beliefs can significantly impact health. If you believe that you are susceptible to illness, your body may respond by weakening your immune system. If you believe that you are strong and capable of overcoming challenges, you are more likely to recover quickly from illness or injury. This connection between mind and body is not just metaphorical, it's biologically real. Your beliefs about your health, your strength, and your ability to heal can directly influence your body's response to stress, illness, and recovery. This is why changing your beliefs can be such a powerful tool for transformation. When you begin to challenge and change the limiting beliefs you hold about yourself and the world around you, you begin to change the very fabric of your reality. You may not be able to change every external circumstance immediately, but by altering your inner beliefs, you shift how you experience the world. And in doing so, you create a new reality. Changing your beliefs is often a process of becoming more conscious of the subconscious programming that has been running your life up until now. For example, if you've spent years believing that you're incapable of success, you must first acknowledge that this belief is not an objective truth, it's simply a perspective you've held. Then you can begin to challenge that belief by looking for evidence to the contrary. You can seek out stories of people who overcame similar challenges, or you can start small by taking actions that contradict the belief. Each time you push past your old belief, you strengthen a new, empowering belief about your potential. Slowly but surely, these new beliefs begin to take root, changing the way you think, feel, and act in every area of your life. Ultimately, beliefs are the silent architects of our lives. They form the foundation upon which we build everything we experience. And while we cannot always control the circumstances that shape our beliefs, we do have the power to change them by becoming aware of the beliefs that no longer serve us, questioning their validity, and consciously choosing new beliefs. We can reshape our reality and unlock our fullest potential. When you change your beliefs, you don't just change how you see the world, you change the world you live in. The subconscious mind is one of the most powerful yet often misunderstood forces within us. It is the hidden driver behind many of our thoughts, actions, and behaviors operating beneath the surface of our conscious awareness. In fact, experts say that as much as 95% of our daily actions and decisions are influenced by the subconscious mind. This immense power, while often working in the background, plays a crucial role in shaping our reality, our habits, and ultimately, our lives. Understanding how the subconscious operates and learning to tap into its power can lead to profound transformation. The subconscious mind is like a vast storage system, holding all of our memories, emotions, beliefs, past experiences, and even the programming we have absorbed from the environment around us. It's often compared to a computer's hard drive, where everything that has happened in our lives, both good and bad, is recorded. This includes everything we've learned through direct experience, as well as the messages we've picked up from our culture, family, friends, and society. These stored memories and beliefs shape how we see the world and how we react to situations. But because much of this programming happens automatically and without our conscious awareness, we are often unaware of the extent to which the subconscious influences our lives. One of the most powerful features of the subconscious mind is its ability to work automatically. Think about all the things you do throughout your day without actively thinking about them: breathing, walking, driving a car, or even tying your shoes. These actions have become so ingrained in your subconscious that you don't have to consciously focus on them. Similarly, your subconscious governs your emotional responses to situations. For example, if you're faced with a stressful situation, your subconscious may trigger a fight or flight response, activating a series of physical and emotional reactions before your conscious mind has even had time to process what's happening. What's even more fascinating is that the subconscious mind doesn't differentiate between what is real and what is imagined. It responds to your thoughts and emotions as if they were actual experiences. If you vividly imagine a scenario in your mind, whether positive or negative, your subconscious believes it to be real and begins to activate the physiological and emotional responses associated with it. This is why visualization is such a powerful tool for success. When you visualize yourself achieving your goals or performing at your best, your subconscious mind starts to align with that vision, influencing your behavior, choices, and actions to bring that imagined reality into existence. This principle is often used by athletes, performers, and leaders to prepare for high-pressure situations by mentally rehearsing their success and seeing themselves accomplishing their objectives before it actually happens. However, while the subconscious mind has immense power, it can also hold us back if the programming within it is negative or limiting. Many of us carry subconscious beliefs that were formed early in life or through repeated experiences. These beliefs can be positive or negative, but often the negative ones are the ones that hold the greatest influence. For example, if you were repeatedly told as a child that you weren't good enough, or if you experienced failure or rejection, your subconscious may carry these beliefs into adulthood, even if you consciously want to succeed. These limiting beliefs can lead to self-doubt, fear of failure, and a tendency to avoid opportunities or take risks, even when they align with your conscious desires. This is where understanding the subconscious mind becomes particularly powerful. When you are aware of how deeply your subconscious programming influences your life, you can begin to take steps to reprogram it. The process of reprogramming your subconscious mind is not an overnight fix. It requires time, patience, and consistent effort. But just as your subconscious mind has absorbed these limiting beliefs over time, it can also adopt new, empowering beliefs that support your growth and success. One of the most effective ways to reprogram the subconscious mind is through repetition. Repeating positive affirmations or visualizations can help to overwrite the old, limiting beliefs with new, empowering ones. For instance, if your subconscious holds the belief that you are not good enough to succeed, you can begin to consciously repeat affirmations such as, "I am worthy of success," or "I am capable of achieving my goals." These affirmations, when repeated regularly, gradually become embedded in the subconscious mind. Over time, the subconscious will start to align with these new beliefs, and you will begin to notice a shift in your thoughts, actions, and outcomes. Another powerful tool for accessing and reprogramming the subconscious mind is meditation. Meditation provides a gateway to accessing the deeper layers of your mind, allowing you to become more aware of the automatic thought patterns and emotional responses that are stored there. During meditation, you can consciously connect with your inner self, quiet the noise of the conscious mind, and invite new positive beliefs to take root. It's also a way to uncover and heal old wounds or limiting beliefs that are influencing your current behavior. Many people report profound insights or emotional releases during meditation, as it allows the subconscious to bring hidden patterns into conscious awareness so they can be transformed. In addition to affirmations and meditation, hypnosis is another powerful tool for accessing the subconscious mind. Hypnosis, when guided by a trained professional, helps you enter a deeply relaxed state where your subconscious mind becomes more open to suggestion. During this state, positive suggestions or visualizations can be implanted directly into the subconscious, bypassing the critical, analytical functions of the conscious mind. While hypnosis is often used to address issues like smoking, weight loss, and phobias, it can also be used to enhance self-confidence, improve performance, and cultivate a mindset of success. The key to transforming your subconscious mind lies in your ability to understand and harness its power. Rather than letting your subconscious mind run on autopilot filled with old, unchallenged beliefs, you can actively engage with it to create a new, more empowering internal narrative. When you do this, you begin to shift your reality, aligning your actions and emotions with your conscious desires. Your subconscious mind becomes a supportive ally, helping you to manifest the life you envision. In essence, the subconscious mind holds the key to unlocking your fullest potential. By understanding its power and learning how to communicate with it, you can dissolve the limiting beliefs that hold you back and replace them with positive, empowering thoughts and behaviors. Whether through visualization, affirmations, meditation, or hypnosis, reprogramming your subconscious mind is a deeply transformative process that can create lasting change in your life. When you align your subconscious programming with your conscious goals, you step into your true power and open the door to limitless possibilities. Change is one of the most constant aspects of life, yet it often feels elusive, as if it is something that requires time, effort, and a gradual process. We are often taught to believe that change comes slowly and that it's a result of small incremental steps. While this may be true in some cases, the reality is that change can also happen in an instant. The idea that transformation is a long, drawn-out process can be one of the most limiting beliefs we hold. But in truth, change can occur the moment we decide to embrace it, shifting the very course of our lives in a single moment of clarity or insight. Change happens the moment we make a conscious decision to move in a different direction, to let go of the old ways of thinking, behaving, or reacting, and to embrace a new reality. This may sound simplistic, but the truth is that the mind holds incredible power when it comes to shaping our experiences. The decision to change, to break free from old habits, or to shift our perspective is the catalyst that activates transformation. It is in this moment of decision, often prompted by a flash of awareness or insight, that we take the first step toward a completely different reality. The power of instantaneous change is often seen in moments of personal realization. These moments may come as a result of a sudden epiphany or a deep emotional breakthrough. For example, someone who has struggled with self-doubt their entire life might suddenly experience a shift in perspective, realizing that their worth is not defined by their past failures, but by their intrinsic value. In that instant, the old narrative they've carried about themselves no longer holds power over them. It's not that they've suddenly become a completely different person, but rather, in that moment, they've chosen to see themselves differently. This shift in perspective marks the beginning of profound change. Similarly, someone who has felt trapped in unhealthy relationships or negative patterns may find themselves in a moment of clarity where they realize that they have the power to choose differently. This realization can be instant, but its impact is profound. When we truly understand that we are the architects of our own lives, the barriers that once seemed insurmountable begin to dissolve. The change isn't necessarily about making huge leaps in one go, but about making a decision that alters the trajectory of our actions. That one decision, whether it's a choice to stop tolerating toxicity, to set new boundaries, or to take a bold step toward a new direction, becomes the spark that leads to lasting transformation. The concept of instantaneous change is also deeply rooted in the way our minds work. The brain, for all its complexity, is incredibly adaptive and capable of shifting its pathways. This concept is known as neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to reorganize itself by forming new neural connections throughout life. Essentially, the brain can change its structure and function based on the thoughts and behaviors we consistently engage in. When we make a decision to change, the brain begins to alter its neural pathways almost immediately. New habits, new thoughts, and new behaviors start to take root in the brain, replacing old patterns that no longer serve us. Neuroplasticity reveals that the brain is not static, nor is it bound by the past. Our brains are constantly evolving based on the input we provide. This is why change doesn't have to be a slow process. When we make the decision to think or act differently, the brain begins to adapt. This can happen in an instant, especially when we become aware of the power we have over our own minds. It's not just about making a decision to change in a superficial sense. It's about tapping into the immense power of the mind to shape new realities. Another powerful element of instant change is the ability to reframe a situation or experience. Reframing is a mental shift that involves seeing something from a different perspective, thereby changing how we respond to it. For instance, someone who has experienced a failure may initially see it as a setback, something that confirms their lack of ability. But in a moment of reframing, they might see that same failure as an opportunity to learn and grow, realizing that failure is not a permanent state, but a stepping stone towards success. In that instant, the emotional response to failure shifts, and a sense of empowerment replaces self-doubt. This reframing is often the trigger for lasting change, as it changes not only how we view a specific situation, but also how we approach future challenges. The same principle applies to overcoming fear. Fear is one of the most powerful emotions that can keep us stuck in old patterns, preventing us from taking bold actions. But fear is also something that can be transformed in an instant. Often, we think that fear must be completely eliminated before we can move forward. But the truth is that fear is simply a signal that we are about to step outside our comfort zone. The moment we recognize this, we can choose to act in spite of the fear. This shift in mindset is often instantaneous, as we change the way we relate to the fear itself. Rather than seeing fear as an obstacle, we begin to see it as a natural part of growth and change. This shift in perception can also occur when we stop viewing change as something that is hard or out of reach. Many people believe that change is difficult, that it requires massive willpower or years of struggle. While it is true that sustained change requires commitment, it's equally important to recognize that change can also be simple. The moment we remove the belief that change is a long, arduous process, we open ourselves up to the possibility that transformation can happen quickly. The moment we let go of the resistance to change, we unlock the door to rapid transformation. The change is not in the time it takes, but in the decision to embrace it, to fully commit to the shift in mindset and action. This principle applies in all areas of life, whether it's breaking free from negative thought patterns, building healthier habits, or stepping into a new phase of life. Change can happen in an instant when we make the conscious decision to let go of the old and embrace the new. The more we practice recognizing the power of our decisions, the more we understand that transformation is always available to us whenever we choose to take it. Change is not something that is dictated by time. It is something that exists in the present moment, waiting for us to claim it. In this sense, the key to rapid change is recognizing that we already have everything we need to make it happen. Change is not a distant goal that we must work toward over time. It is an internal shift that we can choose to make right now. It's about recognizing that in any given moment, we have the power to change the way we think, feel, and act. The process of transformation begins the moment we decide to embrace it. And once we understand that, we realize that change is not only possible, it's inevitable. The moment we decide to change, everything shifts. Consistency is one of the most underestimated forces in our lives. It is often overshadowed by the allure of quick fixes, instant results, and dramatic transformations. Many people search for that one big breakthrough or the magic moment when everything will fall into place. However, true, lasting success and transformation often come not from grand gestures, but from the small, seemingly insignificant actions we take every day. The power of consistency lies in its ability to build momentum, foster discipline, and ultimately create profound changes over time. At its core, consistency is about showing up for yourself every day, regardless of whether or not you feel motivated or inspired. It's the act of doing the right thing repeatedly over time until it becomes a habit, a natural part of who you are. Whether it's exercising daily, practicing a skill, or maintaining a positive mindset, Consistency is the secret ingredient that turns aspirations into achievements. Without consistency, even the most talented, gifted individuals will struggle to reach their full potential. Consistency is the bridge between intention and accomplishment. The power of consistency can be seen in every area of life. When we commit to something, whether it's a career, a relationship, or a personal goal, we must show up regularly, putting in the effort day after day. It's not the grand gesture that leads to success, but the accumulation of small, focused actions that over time create extraordinary results. If you're trying to build a business, it's not about having one great idea or making one big sale. It's about consistently working on your business, refining your strategies, and showing up for your customers every day. If you're trying to improve your health, it's not about a few intense workouts or a crash diet. It's about committing to regular exercise, healthy eating, and self-care over the long term. One of the key reasons consistency is so powerful is because of its compounding effect. The compound effect is the principle that small, consistent actions, when repeated over time, lead to exponential results. Think of it like putting money into a savings account. If you deposit a small amount every day, it may seem insignificant at first, but over time, that small contribution grows, earning interest and accumulating value. The same is true for our efforts. The daily choices we make, even the ones that seem insignificant in the moment, accumulate and compound over time. Eventually, they lead to profound transformations. Consistency also creates discipline. It forces us to show up even when we don't feel like it, pushing us beyond our comfort zones and helping us build mental and emotional resilience. When we commit to something and do it consistently, even on the days when motivation is low or obstacles arise, we strengthen our ability to persevere. This discipline is not something that can be cultivated overnight. It requires time, effort, and the willingness to keep going, even when things get tough. But as we continue to show up, we develop a sense of inner strength and determination that becomes a powerful force in achieving our goals. In addition to fostering discipline, consistency also builds trust, both with ourselves and others. When we commit to something and follow through consistently, we begin to trust our own ability to keep promises and follow through on our goals. This self-trust is essential for growth because it creates a positive feedback loop. When we trust ourselves, we're more likely to take consistent action, which in turn reinforces our belief in our ability to succeed. This trust also extends to others. When we consistently show up for our relationships, our work, or our commitments, we demonstrate reliability and accountability. This builds credibility, deepens connections, and strengthens our sense of purpose and meaning. Consistency is also crucial in overcoming resistance. Resistance is the inner voice that tells us to quit, to procrastinate, or to give up. It's the voice that says we're not good enough or that we don't have enough time or energy to keep going. The longer we let resistance control us, the more it holds us back. But consistency is the antidote to resistance. When we commit to showing up every day, regardless of how we feel, we silence the voice of resistance. We learn to push through the discomfort and continue forward, building momentum with each step. Over time, as we consistently push past resistance, we become more immune to its power, making it easier to keep going, even when challenges arise. In the realm of personal development, consistency is critical for shifting our mindset. It's easy to become frustrated or discouraged when we don't see immediate results. We may set a goal, work toward it for a week or two, and then give up because we haven't seen the changes we were hoping for. But the truth is, mindset shifts often take time. We don't go from a fixed mindset to a growth mindset in a single moment. It happens through consistent effort, reflection, and practice. Whether it's practicing gratitude, affirming positive beliefs, or overcoming negative self-talk, the consistency of these small daily actions gradually rewires our thinking patterns. This is why it's so important to stick with the process, even when the results aren't immediately visible. Consistency is also key when it comes to building confidence. Confidence isn't something that comes from one successful event or achievement. It comes from consistently showing up and taking action, regardless of the outcome. When we take consistent action, we prove to ourselves that we are capable. Each small success, no matter how minor, reinforces our belief in our ability to achieve more. Conversely, when we stop showing up, when we let failure or setbacks stop us, we reinforce the belief that we are not capable. Confidence grows when we consistently push through the challenges and take action toward our goals. No matter how small those actions may seem at first, the power of consistency is not just in what we achieve, it's also in the process. It's easy to focus solely on the end goal, to think that happiness or success will only come once we've achieved a certain milestone. But the truth is that success is found in the journey itself. When we commit to consistent effort, we learn to enjoy the process. We develop resilience, patience, and perseverance, all of which are essential for long-term success. This shift in perspective allows us to celebrate the small victories along the way, rather than waiting for the end result to give us validation. Finally, consistency is crucial when it comes to creating lasting change. Change is not something that happens overnight, and it's certainly not something that happens once and then remains permanent. True change is sustained by consistent effort over time. Whether it's a change in mindset, habits, or behavior, it takes ongoing commitment to make those changes stick. A single moment of insight or decision to change can be powerful, but without consistent action to support that change, the old patterns will quickly return. This is why consistency is the cornerstone of lasting transformation. It's through consistent effort that we solidify the changes we've made, embedding them into our lives until they become part of who we are. The power of consistency is the power to create lasting change, to build discipline, to develop trust, and to overcome resistance. It's the power to achieve goals, transform habits, and rewire our thinking. It's the power to show up for ourselves every single day, regardless of the challenges, setbacks, or frustrations we may face. And in the end, consistency is the force that turns dreams into reality. In life, the most profound transformations often arise from a combination of understanding the immense power of our mind and the consistent effort we put forth toward our goals. Our mind, particularly the subconscious, is a deeply influential force that shapes our actions, beliefs, and outcomes. By recognizing the ability to change at any given moment, we unlock the power to redefine our reality. Understanding that transformation is not a gradual process, but a result of conscious choice and action. Equally important is the realization that change, though instantaneous in decision, is sustained through consistency. It is the small, deliberate actions we take every day that build momentum and create lasting success. By embracing the power of consistency, we not only develop discipline, but also foster self-trust and resilience. Through the repetition of positive habits, mindsets, and beliefs, we empower ourselves to break free from limiting patterns and step into the version of ourselves we aspire to be. Ultimately, the key to unlocking our potential lies within our own hands, within the thoughts we choose to believe, the decisions we make, and the consistent actions we take. Change is not confined to the distant future. It is happening right now in every moment that we decide to show up, to shift our mindset, to act despite fear, and to persist in the face of challenges. When we combine a deep understanding of our mind's power with the unwavering commitment to take consistent, aligned action, we pave the way for extraordinary transformation.